What's going on, all my toy collectors and Spawn fans out there? You know who it is. It's your boy Ox, and welcome to the Cave of Wonders. Now, today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new Spawn figure by McFarlane Toys. This figure right here is based off of Spawn's appearance in the Call of Duty video game. Now, I got this figure from Target for about $24.99. Let's go ahead and crack this baby open and take a look at it. Now, starting off at the front of the box, you guys can see it says Spawn really big down here at the bottom. That's letting you know the name of the character we're going to be looking at. Clear package window showing you the figure that's inside, all the guns and accessories that he's going to be coming with. Letting you know up top it's made by McFarlane Toys, and on the side it says Call of Duty because this is going to be the Spawn who was in the Call of Duty video game, okay? Ages 14 and up. I've already measured the package out for you guys. It measured out to 8 1/4 by 12 inches tall by 3 inches in depth. So that's how much shelf space you're going to need if you're going to be displaying this, okay? And on the back, you can just see Spawn right there. All the information I've already told you guys about. It says it has 22 moving parts. Spawn on the side. There's a barcode in case you guys need it. Like I said, I found this at Target, but I don't think it's not a Target exclusive from what I understand. There's actually two different Spawns there. There was this one and one that had like a tactical vest on and like a helmet and stuff. I just didn't want that one. I'm not actually even a video game person. I don't even play Call of Duty. I haven't played Call of Duty since like Xbox 360, Modern Warfare 3, and I used to play Survival. But other than that, I'm not really a video game person. But so I really wanted my Spawn to look, originally like how Spawn's supposed to look. So I really like this figure, and that's why I ended up grabbing this one. But let's go ahead and crack him out of the box. And here's the figure out of the box with all of his accessories. You guys can see it comes with 5 different rifles, a little figure stand that has his name right there on it, just like the multiverse ones that McFarlane comes out with. But this one right here says Spawn on it. Comes with a little collector's card that McFarlane throws in with most of his figures. You see it says Call of Duty up top. Spawn shows an image of him right there. On the back, it gives you a little read up on the character Spawn, Al Simmons, how he was an assassin. When he died, he went to hell. Then he made a deal with the devil, basically, to come back as Spawn, basically. So, yep. And right there. Now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at these rifles first before we get into the figure, okay? Like I said, he did come with a little figure stand that does have his name on it, which is pretty cool. That way you guys don't get him confused with the DC Multiverse ones. Now, like I said, I don't play video games, so I'm not going to know all the names of all these different guns and stuff. I'm going to guess this is like a grenade launcher right here. I love the fact that he didn't just paint them black. He ended up throwing some red on the handle, red on the butt of the whatever this thing is called, the holster, not holster, but the whatever, but he ended up throwing some red on the back right there. It'd be cool if he would have threw some silver and stuff on there, but I wasn't complaining for the price point of what I paid for this figure. But yep, got a grenade launcher with lots of different details in it. I'm not sure what kind of gun this one is right here. I'm sure my son Cam would be really upset with me because he loves playing Call of Duty all the time. So he'd be like, "You don't know that gun right there?" But the fact that he even did the same thing, painted some red on the clip right there, and then all the little detail, you can see all the different little mechanics and stuff like that right there in the barrel, even the little scope or whatever this is right here. Then you have a little M6, I think this is the M16 right here. Yep, you can see red right here on the back of it as well, and then red right there in the clip. Awesome looking gun. And just so you guys know, I'm sure most of you guys know who watch my videos that McFarlane can't throw in guns with his DC Multiverse figures, but he can with his Spawn figure because it's his character. And you guys know that these guns are all compatible. So if you guys do want to throw some of these guns in some of your other figures' hands, you guys can do that as well. All right. Now this one doesn't have any red on it. I like how they went with like that wood grain look right here on the shoulder, on the whatever it is, the piece that goes right underneath your arm or whatever it is. Sorry, I'm not a gun person. I've just never been really big into guns or anything like that. But yeah, pretty cool looking gun right there. And same with this one. I have no idea what it is. Kind of looks like something from Starship Troopers, if you guys remember that movie from the 90s. But yep, has like a little rocket launcher right here on the bottom. Awesome. Same with the red right there. Love the way that looks. Actually kind of looks like an alien gun from the movie Aliens, kind of. Maybe not with this barrel right here sticking out so far. But yep, that's what it looks like. All right, let's move on to what we all came to see. The figure. Let me move this up just a little bit. There we go. Now I've already measured him out for you guys. He ended up measuring out to 7 inches, but right up here at the top of where his cape ends up coming up at, so it ends up being 7.5 up at the top of here. Okay, so keep that in mind when you guys are going to be displaying him and how much room you guys have. All right. But awesome looking figure. I actually almost didn't want to buy this figure. I didn't want to buy this figure because I was nervous it was going to be the same figure as that one he came out with for the Mortal Kombat game. I actually have it. One second. Here it is right here. I don't know if you guys remember this when McFarlane first started coming out with these Mortal Kombat figures. I bought this one. I never took it out of the box. I bought a bunch of the Mortal Kombat figures, but I couldn't find certain ones like Raiden, ones that I was really looking for. I couldn't find them, but I ended up finding this one. But I wasn't a fan, and I know that Spawn ends up having this a lot on his foot, but that big old like boot clamp thing on his foot, I'm not a big fan of that, and I wasn't a big fan of this right here. I know that those are, on Spawn in some of the comics and stuff like that, and on some of the old toys. I just didn't like it. I bought the original first line of Spawn figures back when he first released them in the early 90s, and it didn't have that, so I wasn't a fan of that big boot thing. But I do love this figure. I love the way it looks, but that's why I almost didn't buy this figure, because I didn't want to rebuy the same mold. But from what I can see, it doesn't look like the same mold at all. But I still love this figure right here. I just never took it out of the box. But I'm really happy to get this one right here. I'm definitely going to be displaying him. And as you guys can see, even from this one right here, it's more of a flat, like a flat paint on all of his black. Even his white isn't very bright around his face, on his chest. Looks more of a realistic. If you guys remember the Spawn movies with Michael J. White back in the day, his suit right here kind of looks like that, compared to this one right here where it looks more brighter, which I really love this suit right here. And I love the fact that we have like a soft goods cape right here with a little bendy wire in it. Now, taking a look at him up close, you guys can see his eyes. You guys can see all the texture. Kind of looks wet a little bit on all the paint, which looks really cool. I actually really love the way that looks. I'm happy he didn't put that big clamp that I was telling you about on that Mortal Kombat figure or on the boot right here. I love just the smaller spikes right there. The skulls right here, there's no kind of chains hanging down. If you guys remember, McFarlane did that for some of his toys a long time ago. He'd have like little chains hanging right here, which is pretty awesome. He has a gun belt right here as well, which is, I'm sure you guys can peel that off and remove it. It's just like rubber or whatever, or like stretchy plastic. You guys can rip that off if you guys want. Same with his cape. His cape isn't very wide, like, like a Batman cape or nothing like that. I mean, it can stretch out, but because it has all these different little cuts in it to make it look like rugged and ripped and stuff. And even with the dirt on it, it looks like they like hit it with like a little bit of like black to make it look like it's dirty, like he's been through the gutter, been through the alleys where he lives basically, and been fighting for a while. So I love the fact that they didn't just make his cape all clean and everything like that. Even on the inside, they didn't just do it on the outside, they also did it on the inside right there. But it doesn't look bad. It just makes it look like he's been through been through hell basically. but yeah, awesome looking figure. No issues with the paint at all. I love his green eyes right there. Yeah. Now, he doesn't come with any extra set of hands, so he's going to be able to hold. These are the only hands that he's going to come with, and they're all going to be able to hold all those guns, which I'll show you guys in a second, all right? And like I said, there is a bendy wire right up in here on both of these sides, and then there's not one up in here at all. It's just holding up like that with the way it is. But you guys can also remove this. You don't have to unbutton it or nothing. It could just come right off, and then this is how he'll look right there, okay? Yep. Now, in case you guys don't notice, which I didn't notice till just now, you guys can see the difference in black on his chest going up to his neck. You guys can see, okay, you guys can see it really good on the back. How this black is a little bit different than here. This is almost like a charcoal gray, kind of like a charcoal gray, not as shiny as his arms. And then, same when you're going past his buttocks right here, you can see how it's all shiny black right there. Yep, which doesn't bother me at all. It actually looks really cool. So, and then you guys just slide this right back onto his head. So it's up to you guys. You guys want the cape or you guys don't, all right? But yeah, awesome looking figure. Let's quickly go over that articulation. Let's move his cape real quick. His head looks up only about that far, so basically just looking straight. He looks down pretty far. Arms do come up. They do rotate. They do rotate right here at the bicep. He does have double jointed elbows. Wrists do rotate. They do go in. They do go out. He does have upper torso articulation, so you guys can rock him side to side if you guys want. Lean him back pretty far. Goes only about that far right there, unless you guys move him at the waist, which is waist does swivel if you guys need it to. Legs do kick up. They do kick up to about there. They don't rotate, so he's not going to have any kind of thigh swivel right here. Does have double jointed knees. Ooh, yep, does have double jointed knees. Doesn't move right here like a boot cut or nothing like that right here at these spikes, so it doesn't move there, but it does go up and down. His foot does rock side to side. It can lean back and forth, and then does have toe articulation right there, all right? But awesome looking figure, man. I'm really happy with this one right here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to show you guys what he looks like with his guns in his hands, a couple different poses, and then I'll do a comparison of him with one of the really old Spawn figures that I have, the original Spawn that had came out when I was little, all right? And here he is with that rocket launcher and that machine gun right here. Looking dope. I just took his cape off real quick so you guys can get a really good look at him. Yep. And like I said, you guys can point his guns whatever way you guys want, obviously. Let's go ahead and swap out these for something else. And now here he is with his cape on, and then I got him with that AK-47 looking gun right here. You can see he holds it just fine. I can move this up, and then you can slide his finger into that trigger hole right there if you guys want to. It's just this back piece kind of ends up hitting his forearm right there. But yep, as you guys can see, he can hold his gun just like that. And now for his last pose, I went ahead and threw some other guns in his hands. You guys can see that, like I said, his finger triggers do go through the or his finger does go through the little trigger hole right there. Same with this one right here. So even though he doesn't have any kind of extra hands, they do end up holding these guns really well. You know? Looks awesome. Like I said, that bendy wire helping the cape flow in different directions actually makes it look really awesome as well. And like I said, you guys can remove that as well, all right? But yep, let's go ahead and do a quick comparison real fast. Now here's a quick look at a bunch of Spawn figures that I have. This is like a generational gap. I'll show you guys real quick. This was my first Spawn figure I had. This one came out, I think, in like 95 or 96 or something like that. But as you guys can see, this thing only had like maybe seven points of articulation. And obviously he looked really cool. I love this Spawn figure right here. I love the cape. I mean, I wish it was like obviously fabric like this one right here. But back in the day, you know, the plastic capes, and you know, if you bent it too much, you can see it start whitening right here. It'll start you know, almost coming to a break. I love this figure right here. It's still one of my favorite figures, and that's why it's still on display down here in the cave. And along with the rest of the figures from that series 1 that he had came out with when he first dropped the Spawn figures. This one right here with that massive, huge cape, and then just the way he looked, you guys can see that that boot clamp thing on his foot right there that I was talking about. That's actually on that Mortal Kombat figure as well. And then the chain, how the plastic chains are dangling compared to these ones where, you know, they're just hard plastic just stuck on there, compared to these ones right here that dangle and stuff like that. And just over the years, how much, you know, figures have grown, gotten taller rather than just being like, you know, 5-inch figures that grow up to be 6 or 7-inch figures. And then, you know, this one right here for the Mortal Kombat, I didn't take that one out. I'm not going to take him out. I love the way he looks, but I'm just going to leave that one in the package. And then you have this one right here, which is, you know, completely, you know, amazing. I love the way this figure looks right here. Now, there's one thing I have to say about these new figures, not just McFarlane's figures, almost all new figures these days that come out that are like in the $20 and up price range. It's getting them to stand. I know you guys want to, I know they want to stick all this different articulation in them everywhere, but you know, if you make a nice heavy bulky figure in, you know, the joints are always loose, you know, same thing like some of my bigger, the mega figures, the feet are like Man-Bat, for example, the Batman Man-Bat, he can't stand. He's nonstop falling over because his ankles are this big, but the figure's huge up here, you know? And I have a lot of trouble, look, just trying to get him to stand up, you know, whether I got his gun in his hand or not. You know, it's like a battle trying to get this figure to stand up. And why is that when I have these old figures from was like 30 years ago that stand just fine? I mean, he never falls over on my shelf. He stands just fine, you know, and same with this one right here. You know, it doesn't fall over. He stands, he's there unless someone comes by and knocks him over. But these figures right here, just the, you know, the joints, they got so many points of articulation that over time their feet just, you know, dwindling and they end up falling. No matter how I try and bend their legs, sometimes they end up tipping over. But the good thing is, which is probably why they throw it in there, is the figure stands. Why McFarlane throws them figure stands in there that help them stand up a little bit. That way they don't tip over. But I personally, because I'm not playing with these figures, I know a lot of people do like toy photography and stuff like that. I don't need all that articulation right here in the ankle to where every time I try and move my figure, his foot just keeps bending forward and he just keeps falling over. So I don't like that personally, but other than that, an amazing looking figure. I love what McFarlane's doing, especially with the DC line. Personally, I know I love it. Some people complain, say they don't love it, but I love it, and I love this Spawn figure right here. Definitely going to be a cool add to my collection right here. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the review. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Until next time, stay cool.